Hey everybody, welcome back to Frannie's Square for episode 38 of Crochet Tell, where it's all about you. Okay, so I know it's been a bit since we've done a Crochet Tell, but over the holidays I had a lot less submissions. I know people get busy, I know I did. So hopefully we'll be back and rolling now. Remember, if you want to submit your projects for Crochet Tell, just send an email to my email address at franniesquare@gmail.com. Include pictures of your projects and then tell me something about it, some description. What pattern you used, was it your own pattern, what yarn you used, something you learned from the project. I get so many comments that people really enjoy seeing each other's projects and that it gives them inspiration, so please send them in. If you haven't seen, I put up a tutorial for a headband/neck warmer. I did a mosaic crochet in the round, and I think it came out really nice. If you're interested in that tutorial, I'll put a link right here. Go check that out. And then as always, I've been doing some wig reviews with my sisters and my mother, so you can go check those out as well. Okay, so without further ado, let's take a look at your projects. The first projects come from one of our regulars, Lisa Mayan. Take a look. She says, "Good morning. I really haven't sent you a crochet and brag thing for a while. I just finished a large order for a local store. It's a hemp store. He brings me the yarn, then pays me per piece I make. He brought over a huge box full of hemp yarn, 100% hemp, hemp wool blend, and a cashmere hemp blend. He requested 100 beanies and slouchy hats. He was not in a hurry. Hats are not the item keeping his doors open. We decided that the 17th of December would be the last day and he would pick up. From September 15th to December 17th, I managed to make 69 hats. Wow. He took whatever yarn was left and we'll do an inventory, and we will decide in January if he wants more hats or even a couple of ponchos. I have crocheted some for him before." And if anybody would like to check out Lisa's channel, I'm going to put a link to her channel in the description below. This was interesting also. Lisa sent in something saying, "I saved all the labels from all the yarn I used over 2022 and I added them all up. I used a total of 40,587 meters. Less than 2021, but I was crocheting for a sale." Wow, that's a lot of crocheting, Lisa. That's awesome. I love that you added that up. Then she said, "I broke down and placed an order with ice yarn. I believe even with all the postage and changing into American money, it was a better deal than Hobie. I haven't been crocheting as much as I would like. Always seems to be something to do around here, but I did finish a lapgan. It's in the lark's foot stitch. It was going to be a wrap, but it got big, so now it's a lapgan. I like how you just switch it up. Still going to the same place, the cancer clinic. I have a few things on the go, just need to pick them up and finish them instead of finding new yarn and patterns. I will find a pattern and think, oh, that would be nice, made with this yarn. 2 weeks later, I don't remember what it was called." I do that too. "So I have gift bags from Christmas and dollar store, and as I find yarn and project, I put the pattern and the yarn in a bag with a note stating who it's for, size of hook, etc. I think I am just rearranging stuff, LOL. That's so funny, but that actually is a really great way of organizing things. Thank you so much for sending all of that in, Lisa." The next submission comes from Michelle McDavid, and I hope I pronounced your name correctly. She says, "Hi Frannie, Michelle here with my version of your beautiful boxy boho sweater. I love this sweater. It turned out even better than I expected. I made it my own by making my sleeves 3/4 length with an added trim. The body of the sweater is made with Crafter's Secret Big Idea in the colorway Magnolia Way. The granny square rectangles are made with a mix of Yarn Bee yarns, all from Hobby Lobby. Soft and sleek in the color Costa Mesa, pearl spun in the color Jade, and comfy classic in burgundy. The neckline I did more rounded and trimmed out in the soft and sleek Costa Mesa colorway. I kept the crop length just as you did. I love this sweater so much, I plan on making a summer version using cotton and bamboo yarns. Thank you for the pattern, your wonderful tutorial, and keep those gorgeous creations coming. Love your channel and your content. Thank you so much, Michelle. And I love seeing how you made this your own. It's absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to see your summer version. And for anybody who missed that tutorial, I'm going to put a link up here now so you can go check that out. Thanks so much for sending that in, Michelle. The next projects come from Mary Gannon, another regular. She says, this first one here is a top-down raglan sweater, pattern on YouTube that I modified several ways. Used 3 cakes of Bernat pop. That is really pretty. Next, a divine hat and cowl. Followed Fiber Spider's tutorial for the hat. The cowl pattern is on YouTube, but it is not correct. Several others and I had problems with the creator was not interested in helping us. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I figured out where she went wrong. I just made my own ending. That's what's good about being an experienced crocheter, and you can actually learn from these things too, is that when something does go wrong, you figure out how to fix it. Used 1 big skein of Lion Brand ice cream, 2 or 3 weight, and also Hirschner's 2-weight baby yarn held together. Added button to hat and 3 to the cowl. I would like to rewrite the cowl pattern when I have time. That would be awesome, Mary, for everybody who's interested in making it. Next, she says, these are the 9 hats I made. The 10th one was yellow and in the photo with the cowl. So that was that last photo. Same pattern by Fiber Spider. They are extra thick. I held a 4-weight and a 2-weight together. Most are baby yarn with Super Saver, Dollar Tree, Bernat, or Premier yarns. Those look awesome. Beautiful hats, and I like how you put buttons on some. Here is my latest finished item, the cable sweater cardigan, patterned by Hey Carrie. I used Vidalana yarn, wool in the color Apple Picking. I was grateful to be able to purchase extra hanks of this yarn from 3 other YouTubers. As you know, Knit Crate went out of business. It took 10 full and part of another hank. Would have been about $350 at full price. Wow. The front panels came out too skinny. The pattern may have an error, so I changed the pattern to add several inches. I added a roll collar and 8 buttons to the front. I was very pleased, and my friend loves her new cardie. Wow, that looks awesome, and the changes you made are great. And finally, she said, here is my latest make. It is the beautiful boho poncho. Pattern is by Crochet with Sylvia. I used yarn from my January crochet challenge hosted by Lori, the armchair chef. Some of the yarn was not labeled. The magenta is by Paintbox. The white is Baby B. The gray and the solid black are Red Heart Super Saver, and the variegated is Vanna's Choice. I used a 4.5 millimeter hook because I wanted it smaller to fit the recipient. It's a fairly easy pattern and worked up quickly. That looks awesome. It looks like it's 4 big granny squares. Beautiful poncho. Thank you for sending those in, Mary. The next submission is from Denise Faust. She says, well, here is the never-ending sweater project. Haha. Definitely not perfect, but I am so glad to be finished with it. I'm sending a picture of the baby sweater that inspired my husband to decide he had to have a sweater/jacket. What is so funny is we live near New Orleans, and it is very seldom cold. He is always hot and will probably never wear it, LOL. I used I Love That yarn in the color Ivory and Big Twist in the color Dark Denim. This started with a tutorial from Mofa Crochet. I didn't use the same stitch, but kind of followed her pattern. I wanted it to look like a knitted sweater, so I used the single crochet slip stitch. It's the first adult sweater I've ever made. Think I'll stick with baby things for a while. I'm sure you're enjoying your new grandbabies. I am, as much as I'm enjoying my little Gemma. Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you, Denise. And wow, these are awesome sweaters that you made. I can only imagine how long that sweater took to make for your husband. He better wear that. Thanks for sending that in. The next projects are from Vicky. She said, I've made 5 of these big blankets for some of the men in my life. These are the 2 most recent. The last one was put to use the day it was gifted, and that always makes us happy. Here are the details. Finished size is about 47 by 60. Cascade cartwheel yarn, 7 balls. Pattern from Bag-A-Day Crochet. Pattern repeat is 8 stitches plus 3. I used a K hook and chained 147 stitches. Next is a very happy donation baby quilt. It worked up surprisingly fast in a chevron moss stitch. Pattern is Alphenhouse Easy Crochet Throw. Yarn is Lion Brand Mandala Ombre in the color Happy. 3 cakes. Chained 180 stitches with a J hook. Worked pattern with I hook. Finished size approximately 27 inches by 36 inches. Next, she said, first up are 2 shawls made with the same yarn, Lion Brand Ice Cream Cotton Blend. I think this yarn is discontinued because I remember getting it at a really great discount. I bought enough to get 2 donation shawls from it. These are donated through a local charity to nursing homes and assisted living facilities. The pattern is Crochet Women's Capelet from Etsy seller Happy Knitting Naden. It was clearly designed for a smaller gauge yarn, but I just chained fewer stitches. I made a large size by chaining 75 plus 4 and a medium by chaining 66 plus 4. The pattern is basically double V stitches and works up really fast. Finally, I've been making a lot of hats. Most are warm winter hats, but I've also made a few chemo hats. I like to make the chemo hats from really soft yarns like Feels Like Butter for the warm hats. I found a pattern on Etsy called the Perfect Guy 2.0 Beanie by Hats by Elvie that I love to make because it works up really fast and actually looks good on. I bought 4 Ogo Color Mamas when Joanne was clearing them out at 75% off and got 9 hats for about $9. That's great. I wasn't in love with the yarn. It's a little rough on the hands, but the hats turned out nice. Oh, that's interesting. That wraps up my last few months of crochet. Not bad for someone who's primarily a quilter, but there were lots of football games to watch. That's great. You got so much done, and you do quilting? That's amazing. Thanks for sending those in, Vicky. The next projects come from another regular, SD McDaniel. She says, I've sent you quite a bit of different projects over the past year. I thought maybe this time I would show you something new. I've always been a crocheter and you've seen some of my beadwork, but the one craft I was never able to get into was knitting. I've tried many times over the years, but I could never make it work. I couldn't keep up with my tension, among other things. Well, I was given a Centro knitting machine for my birthday and was finally able to give it a try. I thought I would share my results with you. This first picture was my first completed project. It's a double-layered beanie for Hat Not Hate. It was made with Bernat Yarnspirations yarn, and I believe the color was Tropical Bliss, but I am not sure. It's 100% acrylic, medium 4-weight yarn. The next hat was almost made for Hat Not Hate, made in a light 3-weight dark teal sparkle. I don't know what brand it is because I bought it as part of an auction lot, but I think it's a gorgeous color. The next one is an ear warmer made with Lion Brand Ferris Wheel yarn in the colorway Wild Violets. It's also a medium 4-weight, 100% acrylic yarn. I have a lot more of it, so I'm hoping to make both a scarf and some hand warmers in the same colorway, although I will probably have to crochet the hand warmers. This last one is another ear warmer, but this one was done with Mandala 3-weight yarn, and I believe the color is called Liger. I have many more plans for this knitting machine, and I can't wait to share them all with you. I hope you all had a safe and happy holiday season. Wow, those came out really awesome. I've never used a knitting machine, but it looks really nice. Next, she said, hey Frannie, you said you like bling, so I thought I would share this project with you. It's another necklace I made for myself. It's called a Russian spiral rope. I've been wanting to try this for a while, but I admit it was intimidating at first. It's actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. I used sea beads and fire polished crystal for it. I think it turned out nicely, and yes, it's very sparkly, just like I like it. Let me know what you think. I'll tell you what I think. I think that's gorgeous, and I love all that sparkle. I'm drawn to sparkle like a moth to a flame. Thank you so much for sending those in, SD. And SD had sent me an email saying that she was interested in what other crafts people are doing aside from crochet. So if you have any of those other crafts that you want to share, feel free to send them in for Crochet Tell. I know it's not crochet, but I'm always interested to see what other crafts are out there and maybe some other things that I could work in with the crochet. Thank you so much for sending those projects in, SD. And the final project is from Leanna Probst. She had written to me with some questions about this pattern, and boy, is this a beautiful blanket. Take a look at this. She says, I have finally finished the terror blanket. This was a lot of work. Here are some pics. That is just stunning. You can see how much work went into this blanket. Well, Leanna, you should be really happy with that finished project. I know that you really worked on that hard, and thank you so much for sending that in. Okay, so that's it for this episode of Crochet and Tell. If you have projects that you'd like included in the next Crochet and Tell, just send me pictures and a description, and I'll be sure to add them in. I also wanted to let you know that Misty Dawn, one of our regulars, has actually started her own channel. So if you'd like to check that out, I'm going to put a link to that below as well. I think she does some yarn reviews, some crochet stuff, some vlogging, so you can go check her out. All right, as always, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Remember to make it your own, and I'll see you soon.